So Alex Stein is suing AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for blocking him on Twitter after he catcalled her outside of the U.S. Capitol. This whole situation is absolutely hilarious. If you remember back to July of last year, Alex Stein actually waited outside of the Capitol building for AOC to walk up the steps, and then he gave her a bunch of compliments, a series of compliments, but he did it in a very hilarious way, in a way that really pissed off AOC to the point where she blocked him on Twitter, and she even posted the video that Alex Stein posted. She posted on her own Twitter account calling him disgusting and everything like that, and if you haven't seen that video, it's absolutely hilarious. I'm going to show it later on in this one, but you should check it out for yourself as well. It's a hilarious video that went pretty viral. And yeah, the situation is resulting now in a court case where Alex Stein is suing AOC. And I think that he might win because we have a precedent set where Donald Trump also got sued for the same thing and was actually going to lose the lawsuit. But by the time that it got to the Supreme Court, he was no longer the president. As far as I understand it, he was going to lose the lawsuit because he blocked people on Twitter. But now that he's not the president anymore, and by the time that the case got to the Supreme Court, he was no longer the president of the United States. He was no longer a government official. So they said it was a moot case. So they kind of dropped the case because he was no longer the president. So there's no reason why he wouldn't be able to block people on Twitter at that point. But a political provocateur sued Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on Wednesday for blocking him on Twitter after he heckled her outside of the U.S. Capitol, shouting crude remarks about her body and her position on abortion. Calling the New York Democrat his favorite big booty Latina, comedian Alex Stein yelled to the lawmaker that he loved her as she entered the building on July 13th in a video he posted online. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. He catcalled Ocasio-Cortez. Look at how sexy she looks in that dress. Ooh, I love it, AOC. Hot, hot, hot like a tamale. Stein's lawsuit cites a federal appeals court decision that ruled against then-President Donald Trump, saying he violated the constitutional rights of several people by blocking them from following him on Twitter. The appeals court said Trump was acting in his official presidential capacity when he blocked those people. Just days after that ruling, in November 2019, Ocasio-Cortez apologized and settled a case with former Brooklyn assemblyman who sued her for blocking him on her AOC Twitter account in response to critical replies to her tweets. In that case, AOC lifted the block on Hyken because he has a First Amendment right to express his views and should not be blocked for them. So she had a similar case where she was going to be sued for the same thing, for blocking people on Twitter, and she unblocked them before the case could go through because she knew that she was going to lose, because the precedent is set where she would lose that case. Stein is looking for the same response with his suit filed in U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C. I really don't have any hard feelings for AOC, Stein said, adding that it is not looking for monetary damages in the case. I would really like to have her unblock me, he said, noting that would allow him to communicate with her. Ocasio-Cortez's office and lawyers who represented her in her prior Twitter block lawsuit did not immediately respond to requests for comment on Stein's suit. Isn't it crazy, the world that we live in now, where it's like multiple people are filing lawsuits against government officials for blocking them on Twitter? It's just insane, like how fast the world has changed. And I'm pretty young, so I can't imagine how it is for people who are like 40 plus to see stuff like this happening, and they're like, what the hell is going on in the world? Like, why are there so many people filing lawsuits against government officials for blocking them on Twitter? It's just crazy how fast things change. But if the Congresswoman fights the complaint, it would reopen the legal argument about rights of political figures to prevent certain individuals or groups from following them on social media platforms. In 2021, the Supreme Court erased the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruling that Trump had violated the First Amendment rights of the people he had blocked from his Twitter account while serving in the White House. The Supreme Court ordered the appeals court to dismiss the case as moot because Trump was then a private citizen. So that's what I was talking about earlier, where they were going to actually have Trump lose that lawsuit or at least send it to the Supreme Court. But by the time it got to the Supreme Court, he was no longer the president anymore. He was just a private citizen. So it was a moot case. But here is what I was talking about with that video, with that they were citing earlier, why Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, why AOC blocked Alex Stein on Twitter, is because of this hilarious video right here. My favorite big booty Latina, AOC. Oh man, AOC tweeted this: I posted about a deeply disgusting incident that happened today on the Capitol steps, but took it down because it's clearly someone seeking extremist fame. It's just a bummer to work in an institution that openly allows this, but talking about it online only invites more. Just really sad. And here is the video. This caption, I don't know if this is a fake caption. I don't remember her tweeting this, but it could be real. I'm not sure. But if this is real, this is a wild thing to say from AOC. Here is a video he posted of the incident. I was actually walking over to deck him because if no one will protect us, then I'll do it myself. But I needed to catch a vote more than catch a case today. There's no way she actually tweeted that, right? Please let me know in the comments if that's a real tweet. But here is the video from Alex Stein, which is very real and very hilarious. Let's check it out.
My favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
I want you to do a little selfie.
I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks in that dress. Woo! I love it, AOC. Hot, hot, hot like a tamale.
It's just hilarious, man. It's funny how people can make, you know, light of a situation like that. It's funny how you can make something like that so funny while also making political statements as well. I love the evolving comedy that you know is going on in the world now, where you know we got people like Steven Crowder, people like Alex Stein, who are not only just giving good political commentary, fighting good fights, but also making it funny and entertaining at the same time, man. They're doing great work. In addition to calling out Stein for his comments, Ocasio-Cortez also blocked him that day from her AOC Twitter account, which has more than 13 million followers. The suit said she blocked him in retaliation to Mr. Stein's exercise of his First Amendment right, because earlier that day, Mr. Stein, in the context of political commentary and satire, complimented Ms. Cortez, and it was a compliment. He said, you know, she looked great in the dress, how good she looked. It's his favorite big booty Latina, not just any big booty Latina, his favorite one, you know, so it obviously is a compliment, but she didn't like it too much. Mr. Stein has a constitutional right to access Ms. Cortez's Twitter account as part of vigorous public comment and criticism. According to the suit, Ms. Cortez's practice of blocking Twitter users she disagrees with is unconstitutional, and this suit seeks to redress that wrong. Stein's lawyer, Jonathan Gross, in an interview said that the reference to Ocasio-Cortez's body is satire, and the reference to her support for abortion rights is obviously political. My client is a political satirist, Gross said. Political speech, and the Supreme Court has said, is the highest level of protected speech. So it's a hilarious situation. What's even more hilarious is the responses to the CNBC article on Alex Stein suing AOC. Here it is. It's just so many memes. So many memes of AOC and so many people supporting Alex Stein. This person says this guy is a major loser. And this guy says, effing hilarious, more like it, obviously ratioed the crap out of her. This person posted this meme of Kamala Harris saying, I've slept with a Brazilian. AOC replying and says, OMG, how many is a Brazilian? Oh, man. They're just, it's meme after meme of AOC. Why do meteors always land in craters? And that's AOC pondering that thought. It's a good question, AOC. Really good question. Libs once again get caught up in their own trap. It's just hilarious, man, how everybody's just done with people like AOC. And people are, you know, on the side of Alex Stein. People are just on the side of people who are, you know, they're just based. Like this person said, they're just able to speak their mind, not having to follow a certain narrative. Like AOC cannot step outside of the narrative that she's already created for herself. She just has to stay in that lane. Whereas Alex Stein, you know, if he comes up with a new idea, if he changes his mind on something, he's able to, you know, admit it and actually change his mind, actually take action towards making the world a better place. Whereas AOC just has her narrative. She has her team, her sports team that she's going to root for no matter what, no matter how wrong they are, no matter how bad they are. She's just going to be on that team forever because that's how she gets votes. And, you know, that is what it is. People are tired of that stuff. People are supporting Alex Stein. Let me know what you think in the comments about Alex Stein suing AOC. I think it's hilarious. And I think if she doesn't unblock him, then she's probably going to lose the case because the precedent is set, in my opinion. Like I said, not a legal expert, but it seems like she would probably lose the case. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the entire situation.